Mr. Koa. We're going to do a video? Yes. Yes, we are. Yeah! Woohoo! Spin! Good boy. So, as promised, I'm going to do a tour of the new van, or as we like to call her, the Professor. And let me explain why. So, why the Professor? Well, if you remember, our little camper van was called the Doctor. That's because it used to be owned by a doctor, and the doctor put on a private number plate, 999. Now, this is nothing to do with a number plate, but I always said that the Doctor was good for your health. It made you smile. I mean, it was a Talbot Express, and as I said before, the ironic thing is there was nothing express about it. I mean, 50 miles an hour, 80 kilometers an hour, cruising along, you couldn't help but smile. Now, we've upgraded, we've gone bigger, we've gone better, we've gone more luxurious, we've got some nicer mod cons, shall we say. So we're going to be exploring, but on a bigger scale and for a longer time. The plan, as I've said, is potentially to be on the road, for a couple of years exploring all over Europe. So we are no longer doctors, but we are professors because we've gone up that level. So this is the Professor. Okay, here she is. Autotrail Dakota, 2013. Mr. Koa hiding down the side there. But we'll just take a quick walk around the outside. I mean, I'll point out anything that I've changed, obviously the number plate being one of them. I added the white protectors onto the wing mirrors, but besides that, it's pretty standard. We'll just walk around, excuse the sunlight. Hey, Mr. Koa, how are you? So yeah, alloy wheels. I have fitted, I'm not going to open all of the lockers, that's pointless. I mean, you don't want to see all the crap that I've got inside. But I have fitted a Gaslow LPG system. I have got a drill bit to mount the fill point externally. Haven't got round to it yet, so it's currently an internal in the locker fill point. It's got a really nice, as you'll see when we get inside, large full-size Dometic fridge freezer, and obviously down there we've got the electric step. Did I say alloy wheels? I believe so. External gas filling point. Obviously that's the flue for the heating. Under bed storage. We don't have a garage. It's one thing that I guess I'm going to miss, but it was my choice to go for this style of van, and that'll become clear as we get inside. Let's wander around to the bum. I do like the rear end on this and how it looks. It's got a bit of, contouring, a bit of styling to it. I think some motorhomes can look a bit square and boxy, but yeah, we've got the spare wheel hanging on the back there. Came with a tow bar, two different tow bars, one big, one small, but I don't foresee me using it. Reversing camera up the top there. I do like the marker lights. It's got them front and rear, as well as the little marker lights, LEDs running down the side. Obviously toilet cassette, definitely not going to show you in there. Water fill and an external shower point just there. Haven't used it yet, but I can foresee that will come in handy. And then just another storage locker there, which has got an air conditioning unit in it for the summer months. And what else is in there? Cables, like electric hookup cables. You can see we're on electric hookup at the moment. Ramps, no, not ramps, the hose. The ramps, I don't know if you can see, but just here at the bottom on this skirt, that is also a locker which opens up, and then we've got the ramps at the back, we've got the electrical hookup point and adapters, etc. in the middle there, and then the leisure batteries are at the front. So yeah, I don't think there's too much to say about the outside. I mean, she's in great condition. And so far so good. I mean, I've had the van now, what are we, we're the end of November. I've had the van coming up for 2 months. We're currently almost down to southern Spain. Well, we are in southern Spain, we're almost down to Alicante. We're off to visit a friend in a little village or town called Sax, S-A-X, just make sure you heard that correctly. But yeah, that's the outside. So I guess we need to go inside. Okie dokie. here we go, here we go, here we go. Let's go down the, well, let's do a quick spin around just so you can see what we got. And Mr. Koa chilling outside. Let's start at the front and work backwards. So, I mean, it's a pretty standard, you know, Fiat Ducato cab. I'll obviously talk through anything that I've changed, which isn't a lot. But yeah, let's get down the front here. So yeah, let's talk about this then. I mean, this is probably the biggest update in the front. I mean, the van came with a really basic standard stereo, didn't even have sat nav on it, so I've put in this 9-inch touchscreen floating screen by a company called Carpuride. Love it, connects with Android Auto. Really cool. So that's probably the biggest upgrade. Obviously one of my wish lists was the privacy Remus blinds all the way round, which we have, which is lovely. And I'll tell you one of the big changes actually outside of the stereo, and it is to do with technology, is the previous head unit connected to the overhead monitor, which I'll show you in a minute, but you had to use the stereo to connect to the monitor, which meant you could only play DVDs, basically. You couldn't actually use it as a TV. So I have installed, or replaced, oh, there's me. So I've replaced the overhead monitor because that's all it was. It was just a monitor, and like I said, you had to run it via the stereo with only DVD, so it couldn't even be used as a TV. So this is a 15-inch Extrons, you know, proper TV monitor for vehicles, for coaches, etc, etc. I mean, yes, it was expensive, but it's 12 volt. It's a full Android system. It's got Bluetooth, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I could actually use this as a proper TV. I don't use an Air or anything like that. I just stream everything. And the way that I stream is simply this little phone. I bought a 5G phone. I've got a really good SIM card, which is the Tesco Unlimited, free roaming until 2026 guaranteed. The TV is obviously got a little control panel. I bought this separate. But yeah, it's a really cool upgrade. And it just means that, you know, if I'm back here in the kitchen or whatever, wherever I am in the van, you know, moving around, I can just have the TV on, and I quite like that. So really happy with that. Now, I don't obviously normally use the van when we're parked up with the seats like this. What I'll do is I'll show you how I set it up in aspect to this little table that can rotate in and out. Let me show you. So there we go, that's kind of like the setup. It just means that this whole, shall we say, lounge living area is completely free. I just spin the one chair around, the driver's one I don't need to, it's only me after all. And then obviously I can sit on either of the bench seats or I can use the passenger seat. But I mean, it just means when I'm sat down here, there's loads of room. If I want to swivel this table in, I can, or again, I can sit in that seat and swivel it over there, but it just gives more flexibility. You've probably noticed this seat has got a cover on it. That's kind of like become Mr. Koa's seat. Obviously it is the same color underneath as that one, which I quite like, and the same as the cab seats. But yeah, there's plenty of room here just to sit and chill. I mean, if you span both of those around, that's 2 people. Okay, it's a bit tighter there, but there is 2, and easily 2 on this side. So that would be 6 people easily sat there. There is a bigger table that came with the van that goes in the middle, but again, it's just me. I don't need it. It's there. I've got it if I need it. In fact, the storage cupboard, which I'll quickly show you now actually, which is just here. Normally there's a Koa, you come inside. Yeah, you good boy. Normally that's where the table is, but I have put my solar panel in there. That tends to work a bit better. Easy access. Right, I'm sure you've noticed, I mean, storage is endless in the van. Again, I won't open up every single cupboard. Shit will probably fall out like that. But oh, we've got a bottle of wine in there, better drink that. But just plenty of room to store stuff all around the van. I mean, we've got big lockers at the front here. That's one of the differences. I mean, lovely skylight, but this or the Autotrails of this era, I'm not 100% sure, but they came in 3 different shapes, I guess is the way to say it. You had what they called the high line, so this bubble wasn't as curved and there was a bed above the cab. This is what they call the low line, so there's more of a curvature. You don't get a bed, but you get these huge storage cupboards which go really far back. And then you had the super low line, which again, the bubble I believe comes over at more of an angle, and although you've got a couple of storage cupboards here, they I believe lift up that way and they're quite small. So you know, I think this is the best compromise. I didn't need the over cab bed, but I did want the storage. Anyway, I think that's kind of like the front end. Let's spin around. I think Koa's having a bit of food. Yeah, bum shot of Koa. What have we got over by the main door? Obviously, we've got the controlling for the heating and the hot water. The main control panel there, which gives me things like water levels. Oh, I need to maybe empty the waste soon, you know, battery levels. We are plugged in at the moment, so everything looks fine and dandy. A couple of coat hooks that I've added just for putting things on. You may recognize this tray. I bought 2 of these for the Doctor. So I got one for this little shelf here because it was just wasted space, but it just means as I'm going out the van, you know, sunglasses, keys, I've got my hat, poo bags, that kind of stuff. So that's quite handy. Obviously a mirror, which is super important with my hair. And then we go back to the cooking and the sleeping areas. So let's just shuffle around. I mean, you can see there we've got a 4 burner free gas, 1 electric hob. I don't know if the lighting is great, apologies. A grill just there, and then if we get that out the way, we've got the oven just there. And I mean, bearing in mind this is 2013, these are like new. I was super lucky that the previous owners, a couple, had really looked after the van. It had 28,500 miles when I got it. I'm just up to about 30,000 now, but bearing in mind it's 11 years old, I mean, I think it's in super condition. Again, so much storage, which is a real good point with this van. Again, up here, the built-in microwave, yeah, only really usable on electric hookup until I potentially upgrade the system in the future, but you know, I won't be using a microwave that often anyway. This side again, I mean, that's kind of like my larder, if you will, food storage, etc. And then this lovely huge fridge freezer, which was something that I really wanted. I wanted to have plenty of room to store, you know, lots of food and drink and not have to worry about, you know, where I was going to put everything. And that's Mr. Koa's dining space just at the bottom there. More storage all around the back. I mean, this is all clothes around here. That's the door to the bathroom. Wardrobe space, and again more drawers for pants, socks, t-shirt. There is this little dividing wall that you can pull out. I won't get it all the way out. I mean, it does its job, but again, it's just me. I guess if you had people sleeping in the front, because the front lounge area does convert to a bed, you'd want to potentially use that, but I don't. And I like this, the fact that I can walk down the side of the bed. We'll go into the bathroom in a moment. Again, more storage above. Hello, there's me. Little kind of like dressing table, if you will. And if I just spin this way around, there's another TV. So if I'm in bed, I've got a nice TV there I can watch, or like I said, I've got the TV down the front, which if I'm just pottering around, you know, like in the morning I tend to have the news on or something like that, or in the evenings if I don't want to lay in bed, I can sit on the seats and watch that little telly. So that works for me. I find the space really comfortable and easy to live in, especially obviously after living in the Doctor, and the main upgrade was for extra space. Something else I actually really like as well, and probably let's just show you here, is these blinds. I mean, these are the fly nets, which I have down because it just gives a little bit more privacy, but I like the way they work. Obviously there is the full blackout blind that all the windows have, but they're not like a lot of motorhomes have those stupid little plastic catches that you have to slide up and down. The Doctor had them. I just thought it was a bit flimsy. I like these are solid, I guess, aluminium bars, and you can move the whole thing up and down or separate it as you will. So I really do like that. And let's get into the bathroom, shall we? Let's go and have a look. So, I mean, this was a massive selling point. I already knew that I wanted a proper bathroom, shower area, and I mean the piece de resistance is the shower. I mean, this is pretty standard. Again, more shelving and cupboards down the side here, under the sink, the little sink, the cassette toilet. Again, nice big window at the back, roof light there, but check out this shower. and probably the camera will not do it justice, but it is huge. Okay, I've got my laundry basket and a towel hanging up in there. There's the shower head. These were already fitted. These are super handy because there's nowhere to put anything, but you know, you can put, I've got shower gel in this one. These two are empty. I mean, it's just me, but you could have, I'm sure the lady before had like shampoo and conditioner, etc. in there, but it's literally a double shower. It is huge. Let me spin around. You're not going to get the perspective, but it goes pretty much across the back of the van behind the bed. So it is a massive, massive plus to have a decent shower. There's me again. Hello. Right, let's go back outside. So yeah, I'm loving the Doctor so far. I mean, there's so much room, so much space. You know, the whole idea of getting a larger van, like I said, it was for Koa, so that I could walk past him and not have to constantly step over him. Although there's still, you know, crunch points, squeeze points, tight points where if he is laid, then I have to step over him. But it does work so much better. You know, I've done lots of cooking already, you know, watching the TV with a glass of wine or whatever it may be. Yes, there are things that I would change in hindsight if I was to do this again, which I guess at some point in the future I probably will. What would they be? I think outside I would want a full garage in the future. Obviously there is the access under the bed, and there's lots of room under there. And the bed I didn't show you, but it does lift up so I can access it from inside the van. But it's maybe not the most convenient setup. A transverse bed going across the back would give you the garage. But I think the problem with both the transverse bed and the French bed, it's just me, so it's not a problem. But if you were two people, someone that's either at the back of the van or by the side on the French bed has always got to climb over the second person that's on the outside to get up in the morning if they're an early riser, to go to the toilet in the middle of the night, etc., etc. So I guess if I have my time again, I'd probably go for an island bed, so you've got that full access on both sides for both people. But I mean, besides the bed configuration, like I say, it's not a problem for me, although making the bed, although it's just one person, still a pain in the backside because you've got to reach over to tuck everything in. But besides that, I don't think there's anything else I'd change about the actual design or layout of the van. It's just things that I want to add. So at the moment we've just got basic, you know, lead acid batteries. They are new, I put them in. It was a quick change, not an upgrade, but just to ensure that I had nice new batteries because the old ones didn't look great, but lithium ion obviously. And my plan is to use the van until probably May next year, so over this winter, let's say 6 months, fully get to understand and work out, you know, what my power usage is, and then look to potentially get obviously more solar. I've got 200 watts of solar, but it's the standard system. I mean, it's a Sargent control unit, which, you know, you either love them or you hate them, I think. I don't really have an opinion. I don't know enough about them. But I guess when I upgrade to lithium, I know that the system as it is isn't configured or isn't able to handle lithium charging. Again, I don't know the ins and outs. It's some research I need to do. If you know and you've got some ideas, drop it in the comments. But there will be changes to the electrical system so that if I'm off grid, you know, I've got an inverter so that I can use the plugs, whereas at the moment I can only use them if I'm plugged in, like I am at the moment. And just to have, you know, that ability to recharge quicker whilst driving through some kind of, is it DC to DC or B2B? Again, there's all these acronyms and terminology that I need to get my head around. I do have a small EcoFlow power station, which is great for charging, you know, phones, laptops, GoPro cameras, drones, etc., etc. when I'm off grid. But again, at the moment, plugged in, it's never an issue. But yeah, so the power system is something that I will look at once I understand the best way to go. It could even be that it's, you know, a couple of power stations with a fast charge option whilst I'm driving. I don't know. I know things are constantly moving and changing, and more to the point, prices are coming down. I mean, lithium ion batteries and power stations, you know, Black Friday is here now, has just been, depending on when you're watching this. But there's so many options. It's just making sure we get the right one. So hence why I didn't want to rush into it and get something fitted before I came away. I thought, well, let's use the van and then see where we go and see what I need to upgrade and how much power I'm going to need. And to be fair, so far, the thing that actually I find takes the most power is the water pump. I don't know if that's the same for everybody, but you know, when you switch the water pump on, you can really see the battery levels coming down. But I guess that's just because it's the most power hungry appliance that I use. So that's it. That's the Professor. Hope you like her. We are, like I say, we're now on the road. Our next stop is Sachs in Alicante to visit Simon. And then from there, we're going to be slowly making our way down to Benalmadena for Christmas, because I've got family flying out, so that'll be super nice. And then after Christmas into the new year, we've got a couple of months to just do some journeys, do some trips. Then we're heading up into the Alps, certainly in February and March, because I've got people up in the Alps that are working on holiday or live there. So there's some visiting to be done and some skiing to be done. And so that'll be really cool for the first time to be up in the Alps in a motorhome. And Koa did see a little bit of snow when we was in the Doctor last year, but it was, you know, a little thin layer. Couldn't really call it proper snow. So I still want to get him to see real snow, which I think is going to be absolutely amazing. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say. If you've got any questions, drop it in the comments. I'll try and help. I'll try and answer. I'm no expert by any stretch of imagination, but let me stop waffling. I've got some work to do, and we'll see you in the next video.